This is level K day 1 and we're doing the day 1 page. We're looking at the silent K in all of these words. So as we go, let's highlight the silent K. So we've got knit, knot, knob, knee, kneel, knife, know, new, knock and night. So you can see that the letter that comes after the silent K in these words is an N. So let's highlight that. So you can see that pattern. So once upon a time they would have pronounced that K, so they would have said knit, knot, knob, but it's hard to do the k sound. So eventually over time they dropped the k sound, so now we just go knit, knot, knob, etc. Now there's some other things that you can see happening in these words too, so let's go through and work out what they are. So we've got the long E sound, which we're revising with the 2 E's. It's the same long E sound in kneel. In knife, we've got the E making the previous vowel make its long sound, I. Here we've got the long O sound with the O, W. Here we've got the oo sound. Here we've got a short op sound, so we put in CK. And here we've got the long I sound with the IGH. So you've got quite a lot of revision in these words as well today. So what do these words mean? Well, knit is when you get 2 needles, 2 very long needles, and you do a knot and you get started and you start knitting. You can knit a scarf or a jumper or a beanie, anything you like. A lot of people quite enjoy it. A knot is when you get a string or rope or a shoelace or ribbon, whatever you like, and you tie a knot in it. A knob is like a handle. You might have a knob on a doorknob, or you might have a knob on a cupboard that you want to open. You can have a knob of butter too. A knee is this part of your leg where your knee bends, the 2 bones join. Kneel is when you get down on the floor and you're on your knees with your feet out behind you. A knife is something that you cut with. It's very sharp. You have to be careful. Know is when you know something in your head. Now there is another know, and the other know is spelt like that. But the one where you're thinking about something in your head would be like this. New, this new is where you knew something, so it's already happened. Now this one we could have new like as in a new pair of shoes too. It's N-E-W. So knock is when you tap on something, and a night is, we used to have them in days gone by where people would protect themselves by quite often wearing an armour, but today's nights are just when you're a very special person, you've done lots of good work, then you might be knighted for your hard work. Now there's another couple of words here that can be spelt a different way. So this knit here is when you get a knit in your hair. It's like a little egg in that sticks to your hair. Not, this is when he's not going, so it's indicating a negative, like you're not doing something. I think they're the only ones that we need to go over. All right, so we know all the special things that are happening in these words. We know what they all mean. Not much point learning how to spell a word if you don't know what they mean. Now let's read them, sound them 3 times, spell them 3 times, then write them 3 times and check them. So get your little bit of paper ready that you're going to cover with, and let's go. So this is where you're going to see what's important to sound words and spell them. So our word is knit. So we're going to sound it, n-it, n-it. Then when we spell it, we have to put that dropped K back in. So we're going to go K-N-I-T, K-N-I-T, K-N-I-T. Cover it and then write it 3 times. So sounding a word and spelling a word is important. You can read those words, sound them, leave off the silent K when you're sounding them, but when you spell them, make sure you put the K in so that you know to write it. This is level K, list 1, and we're doing the day 2. And our words are knit, knot, knob, knee, kneel, knife, know, knew, knock, night. So go through and highlight the silent K in all of those words, and you can see too that the silent K is followed by an N in all of these words. So you need a different colour to highlight that N after the silent K. So that tells us that quite often when we need a letter before an N that's silent, we know there's a letter there. It will be a G or a K, but most of the time it's a K. So try to remember these words as the silent K words. Now there's some other stuff happening in these words too that we're revising. So if you look at knee, we've got that long E sound. In kneel, we've got the long E sound, and you know that you use one L after a long vowel sound at the end of a short word. So here the E is making the previous I make its long sound, knife. No, we've got the OW making the O sound. Here we've got the EW making the U sound. In knock, we've got a short vowel sound in O, so we have to put CK after a short vowel sound. And in night, we got the IGH making that long I sound. So we have some double meanings in these words, and because this page is mainly about meanings, you might have to be careful. So knit, you know, is when you can knit with some needles and wool. And if we took the K off it and wrote the word without the K, so it sounds the same, but it's spelt differently and it means something different. This one, knit, the other knit means where you have little eggs in your hair, sticking to your hair follicles. A knot, this knot here is when you tie a knot, whereas the other knot is without the silent K, and that means that you're not going to do something. It's a negative. A knob is a knob on a cupboard or a door. And you can have your knee is a joint in your leg. Kneel is when you put your knees on the floor and you kneel down. A knife is something you cut with. Now this no is when you know something in your head. The other no is spelled N-O, so it's without the silent K on it. And this is the opposite to yes, yes or no, whereas this is a no thinking in your head. Knew is past tense of no. Right, we can't say I knowed the answer, we would say I knew the answer. Now if you take off the silent K there, you've got another word that sounds the same but it means something different. N-E-W means something is new, it means you haven't had it before. Or you could have the newspaper too where it tells us things that have happened. In knock, you've got the K there, it just means that, so we've got the K at the start and the CK at the end of that one, so it just means a noise when you knock on something, you say knock. Knight, now this knight with the silent K is someone who serves the king, so if we take away that K, we've just got N-I-G-H-T, and that's night time, it's the opposite to day. So that's the meaning of those words, and you just have to be careful and know which one you have to use to fill in the sentences down here. Now let's go through and read the words, sound the words and spell them. So we're going to go knit, we're not going to pronounce that k sound, and then we go K-N-I-T. So it's very important that you read the word, sound it, spell it before you write it. So let's try it again. Knit, N-it, K-N-I-T, cover it and then write it. And you can finish the rest of those on your own. Now you've got to rewrite the list word then match to the picture, so you just have to write the word again on the line, and then you have to draw a line, match it to the picture, so you just draw a line to the picture. Complete with the list word, double something, be a double knot, a doorknob, a kitchen knife, and knitting needles. Quite easy for you to fill in. Then down here you have to read the sentence and work out which of these words will fit best in each sentence. I something the answers for the new quiz. I knew the answers for the new quiz. Okay, you can finish those off on your own. This is level K, list 1, and we're doing the day through 3, and in all of these words we're looking at the silent K, and the silent K in all of these words is followed by the letter N. So you can highlight the K, one colour, and the N that follows that silent letter, a different colour. Now change colours to a third colour and we'll go over some of the patterns we're seeing in these words. So we've got the double E for the long E sound in knee. These are just 3 letters, 3 sounds pretty much. The double E in kneel. Now because we have a long vowel sound there, we use one L at the end of the word. Short word, long vowel sound, ends in L, we use one L. Here the E is making the previous I make its long sound I, knife. Oh no, we've got the OW, new, we've got that U sound, EW. Here we've got a short vowel sound in O, so we put CK after a short vowel sound in a short word. And here we've got the IGH making the long I sound in night. Now we know what those words all mean, so today we're looking at adding to those base words to change the structure of a word or to change the use of a word in a sentence. So first up we've got verb families, so you have to look for the base word here. So the base word of nose would be no, the base word of knocking would be knock, we've got not as the base word, and the base word of kneels would be kneel. Then in this row here you have to add the S to these verbs. Here you're adding the ing, and here you're adding the ed. Now this one here needs an alert sign there to say we don't write knowed. So usually we add ed to form past tense of a verb, but we don't say he knowed the answer, we say he knew the answer. Knocked would work, knotted will work, and kneeled would work. So that's the only tricky one in there. You're going to have to think carefully about whether you double the T or not when you're writing knotting and knotted. So let's help you with that. First thing we look at, is not a short word? Yes, it is only one syllable. That's one tick. Does it have a short vowel in it? In the base word, is a short vowel. Does the base word end with one consonant after the vowel? Yes, it does. There's only a T there after the vowel. And if we're adding ing or ed, do they start with a vowel? Yes, they both do. So if we get 4 ticks, and we know to double the T in knotting and knotted. Now the reason we don't double the L in kneel is because we've got a long vowel sound. The reason we don't double the K in knocking, well, we'd never have double K in a word, but we know we've got, the word ends with 2 consonants, so we're not going to add another one. Here, we're ending the base word with a vowel, so we're not going to double the W here. So the only one that we have to double the last letter for is not, in knotting and knotted. Now down here we've got plural, so these words are all nouns. We've got knee, knife and night. So a knee or both knees, one knife or a set of knives. Now the best way to tell if you're going to change that F to a V or not is to listen to the way you're saying the word when you make it a plural. Plural means more than one. So if you go one knife, you can hear the F. But if you hear knives, if you hear that V, you know you're going to change that F to a V and add the ES. So sometimes F changes to V when adding a plural. English words don't end in V, so we add the E and then the plural S after that. So that's how we get the VES. Alphabetical order, you have to say the alphabet and then work out which word comes first. So these all start with K, so you can't use the K to put these ones in alphabetical order. They also, the second letter is an N in each of them. So in all of these words, when looking for the alphabetical order, you're going to have to look at the third letter, because the first two letters are the same in all of them. Then if you get two words that have the same third letter, like these two here, you're going to have to look at the fourth letter. So W or E, which comes first in the alphabet. So Neil would be written before new. Make new words and use them in sentences. So quite often when we have, like if we want to write knowledge, we don't write it as two separate words. We're going to join them together to make the word knowledge. Unknown. So the prefix before the word can change the meaning of the word quite a lot. When we add to the end of a word, it quite often changes the structure of the word and how we would use that word. So you can write those two, and then a sentence to show that you know the meaning of those words and how they can be used in a sentence. Proofreading, you just have to work out which is the correct spelling for these words. So knock, which one spelled correctly, circle it and then write it on the end. Which one says knee, just circle it and write the word correctly on the end. This is level K, list 1, and we're doing the day 4. It's about homophones. So what is a homophone? It's a word that is pronounced, let's highlight that, pronounced the same as another word, but has different meaning and is spelt differently too. So two examples are saw and saw. This saw means I saw you at the park, or we will saw the wood with a saw. This one is like you've got a sore knee or something like that. This new, it means that something is new, you haven't had it before, and this new is when you know something in your head. So write the correct homophone in the blanks in these sentences. So let's read them together. We've got fair, here, tide, past, sail, missed, missed, tide, here, sail, past, fair. So I can't something what the teacher is saying from back. So this one will be, I can't hear what the teacher is saying from back here. So make sure you get the correct here in the right place. Once you've used a word, then cross it off up the top so that you know you won't use it again. So down the bottom it says, write the matching homophones and use both in a sentence. So you've got to write that new, it means to know in your head. This one means something is brand new, you haven't had it before. And then you've got to write each of them in a little sentence down here, like I knew the answer, or I have some new shoes, whatever. No, no, night and night, not and not. Off you go.